What's up, boys? It's Nick from Team Table 501 here. I am the king of the scrubs, and today I'm going to bring you my Garden City regional deck profile and report. I don't have the physical cards anymore because I had to sell this deck because I needed money. I sold basically like the stuff that was worth money. I pretty much still have like 97% of the deck, so if I want to build it again, should be pretty easy to find most of the cards, especially since I got to keep some of my high value stuff. Because they said it was 2 damage, even though, like, there's only a small crease in the corner on the Raigeki, and the Twin Twisters are just, like, lightly played in the corners, but, like, whatever. The vendors are pieces of shit. PSA, the vendors there were absolutely fucking terrible. Like, they had no cards whatsoever, and they were overpriced to balls, but that's besides the point. So I went X4 at this regional. I very easily could have done better, but I'm bad at this game. I'm really bad at this game, and I purposely overextended way too many times when I shouldn't have, and I lost. If I would have just played better, I would have done better. It's pretty simple. The deck itself was freaking fantastic. Like, I cannot say enough about this deck. This deck is fucking, like, it is so good. But that's besides the point. So as you can see, it is Fluffles. Now, I have shit-talked this deck way too many times to count. But after actually playing it in a competitive event with competitive tier 1 decks and very knowledgeable players and very good players, this deck is fucking good. Like, it just didn't lose. I know I went X4, but that's because I just played bad, but the deck itself just, if it goes off, it just doesn't lose. Like, every game I went off, I won. And the only games I lost were either due to bricking or disruption. But when the deck goes off, you win. So, excuse me right there. So no more jibber jabber. Let's get through the deck list. 3 dog, best card in the deck, or main deck at least. This card is ridiculous. The amount of times I hit this off Toy Vendor were disgusting, and the amount of times I discarded Edge Imp Chain were disgusting. So 3 dog, 3 bear. That's it for the 3 ofs. It's really just, I didn't want to open too many Fluffles, but I wanted to open enough Fluffles to where I could consistently make a Sabertooth Sheep board, and possibly back that up with a Fusion OTK play on turn 2. So, 2 Penguin. This card is insane. Like, holy shit, is this card insane. It's a free Proxy Dragon, and it's a mini Graceful Charity if you Fusion Summon. What the fuck? This card is insane! Like, what the hell? This card's ridiculous. I only played 2 wings. I didn't really miss the 3rd one, although I wish I played the 3rd one. It was just something to where, like, I resolved wings way too much in that tournament. It's just the only time I wish I had the 3rd one was just because I needed a little extra gas to get me through the game, but honestly, you can play the deck with 2. Plus, I blew through Toy Vendors way too fast. That's why I lost. 1 cat, 1 owl, and 1 sheep. Sheep is MVP. Sheep is so good. Like, the amount of times you would just go vendor, pitch, chain, generate value, summon dog, search sheep, make a proxy dragon, or you can fuse for sheep, is really good. Owl came in clutch. Glad I had it in the deck. I got anti-spelled game 1. And so I went normal owl, activate effect. He said, what? And he looked at it, and then I made a tiger to blow up his back row. And it felt pretty good to do that. And then Cat is just here to not lose to Strike. For the Edge Imps, 3 chain, 1 sabers. You could play 2 sabers, although I didn't particularly like the second one. And a lot of people looked at this card and were like, wait, this doesn't banish itself when you use the graveyard effect? Nope, it goes right back to the graveyard. This card is fucking broken. And then 3 King of the Swamp. Just so clutch. Made so many good fusion plays. It baited Ash Blossoms out all day. Card's great. 2 Gofu. Don't really need 3, although I wanted a way to make a good board. That could be like Deco Talker, 3 fusions. So, 2 Gofu is good. And then the 1 Maxi, never drew it. Press F. For spells, 3 Vendor. Your card is fucking insane. Oh, this card is so good. 2 Poly and 1 Fusion Sub. Didn't miss the third poly. Liked the fusion sub a lot. Gave me a lot of good +1s. 2 Foolish Burial Goods. Don't need 3. I know Sam Cox says play 3, but you don't need 3. And then 2 Fright for Fusion. Card was ridiculous. Oh, the amount of times this made Tiger to blow up my opponent's back row, and then I polyed into Sabretooth was ridiculous. Fright for Factory. It's a really good card. A lot of people didn't know what it did, so very good for sneaking out the wins there. And the fact that this adds banished Fright for Fusions when it's destroyed is really cool. And it doesn't matter who destroys it. I actually had a game where my opponent cycloned my Fright for Fusion and Prime Resolution so it wouldn't go to the graveyard. Because I guess he thought that I could bring it back or something from the graveyard, but then I tigered my factory away. And he read it, and he's like, oh, shit. So yeah, the card's insane. And then 1 Upstart, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Book of Moon. This was just, I panicked. I needed a 40th card, so that's why I played the Book of Moon. The Book of Moon was actually okay, although I wouldn't play it in a future build. I would definitely play a different card. Maybe it'd be another Hand Trap, maybe it'd be like a 3rd Wings. I don't know, but I definitely wouldn't play Book of Moon. Fusion Recovery overperformed. This card was really good all day. Just the amount of times you do the Toy Vendor combo, and then you would draw it, and then you'd add back a King of the Swamp, because even though the Fright First has specific fusion material, Fusion Recovery only says the monster that was used for it, so you'd get back the King of the Swamp and a Polymerization, and then say you wanted Fusion Sub so you could do more combos, you could pitch the King of the Swamp to get the Fusion Sub, so now you have 2 ways of producing Fusion monsters, and that's ridiculous, so card's really good, I'd play it again, and then Dark Hole Raigeki, just in case you go second, you gotta have those board wipes, man. That's it for the main deck. 40 cards, no Desires. Maybe I would have played Desires. Probably not, though. I don't think Desires is very good in the deck. I didn't think Instant Fusion was really good in the deck either. Although, in theory, you could play it. But, excuse me for a second. I'm having a little bit of allergies here. Moving on to the extra deck, we have 3 Sabretooth, best card in the extra deck. If you get 2 of these on board against Draco, you win. Like, if you can get 2 indestructible Sabretooths out, you win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just win. 3 Sheep, the card that got Kaiju'd more than Sabretooth. People just can't kill this card. This card's ridiculously good. It just is. 2 Tiger. It's an OTK card. You only make it when you're clearing the field to push for game. Because if you're going second, you kind of just want to get yourself set up in a position to win. But if you know that you're going to have to face disruption, you just want to clear the field away so you'll have more time. It's also there for when you just have like your nut draw. You can Tiger like 5 cards away, make a wolf, and just hit them for a shitload. So, 2 Kraken. Card is great. Just, it dealt with so many problem monsters over the regional. Could not say enough about it. Never made Leo. I made Wolf once against Pen Magician, and it could attack 5 times, so I won the game. And then for the Lynx, Proxy Dragon, and Decode Talker, I definitely wish there was a Mrs. Radiant somewhere in the extra deck. I would probably maybe put Sheep to 2, because you never go into 3 Sheep, ever. So honestly, I'd probably put Sheep to 2 and put in a Mrs. Radiant, because even if you brick, you can go Dog, search Sheep, summon Sheep, and then that's a Mrs. Radiant right there. So Dog is essentially a 1-card Mrs. Radiant. And then if the Mrs. Radiant dies, you get to put the Dog back in your hand so that you have the ability to search next turn if they don't kill you, which we're not really in much of an OTK format. I very rarely got OTK'd, especially by decks like Draco. Pendulum Magician can do it, but that's because just of the raw power of the deck. That's not the format's fault. That's besides the point. Decode Docker was insane all day, negated all sorts of stuff. Card's great. And then I played Fairy Cheer Girl. It's really there for when you hit Penguin off of your Toy Vendor. You can summon the dog, get the +1, then make Cheer Girl to +1 again. Then you can use Cheer Girl to link into Proxy Dragon, and it clears your extra monster zone, so that way if you have a Gofu, or say you have, or say you're trying to play around back row, Cheer Girl's a great way to do it, because they're going to pop it to stop you from drawing a card. And that's another thing, too, is that with Toy Vendor, Cyclone the thing the second you see it. Because if you let it resolve, you're getting fucked up. Like, you could even ask Citrus, because he was there. Shout out to my homeboy Citrus, by the way. He's the one who let me play the deck. Shout out to Jacob, too. He let me play this deck. You guys are great. But the amount of times Vendor just gave me insane amounts of cards are fucking ridiculous. Like, sometimes I'd have 6 or 7 cards in my hand and have to discard at the end of my turn because I had too many cards in my hand. So, get this thing off the field or it's going to generate a lot of value. Or you could actually cut the Fairy Chirgo for the Mrs. Radiant. Although I would probably just put Sheep down to 2, because I actually liked having the utility of making a rank 4 monster, just in case you get barriered, excuse me. Side deck, 2 Ogre, never sided it. I should have, but I didn't. Lancia, this card overperformed. This card is great! Against Invoked, which there was a ton of at this regional, Lancia is just really good against that deck. So, and then I played the Kaiju package, Gameciel, Kumungus, Dogoran, Kaiju. This is basically for when we're going second. It was a really good engine, really liked it, very good. 2 twins. I definitely didn't want them main decked, but I knew I wanted them somewhere within the deck list, so I put them in the side. They were okay. I wasn't gonna hunt down Cyclones, because I swear to God, that was the card that everybody needed in that regional. Like, if you... Like, I would not be surprised if the vendors were gonna... Because they were not giving you full value on Cyclones. And, like, any that they had, they were gone in a heartbeat. Everybody wanted Cyclones this event. But yeah, the vendors were terrible. DZ was right. Those vendors were absolutely fucking terrible. Not only did they give you bad pricing, they just didn't have good cards. Like, they didn't have anything people needed. Double Chalice. Card actually came in clutch. I was siding it for more, like, just rogue decks, like Domain Monarchs. Or stuff that just puts Vanity's Fiend out on the board, as that's a card you just can't beat. But it came in clutch against Windwitch, because they made the Crystal Wing. I would just chalice the Crystal Wing, and then I'd be able to go off and make Kraken, and send it to the graveyard, so I wouldn't have to worry about the fact that it is immune. And then the best card in the side deck is Magical Spring. This card overperformed to death. This card is ridiculously good. So as long as Pendulums, just Pendulum Editions in general, remain a big threat of the format, you should have this card in your side. My round 7 opponent, it was game 2, I went first. I made Talker, Sabertooth Sheep, and I set this card, and the first thing he does is Wisdom Eye, and he goes to activate the effect, I chain Magical Spring, and he scooped him up. Because he just can't play the game, so... Oh yeah, Magical Spring is a really good card. But that's the end of the deck list. Not really to go over the rounds too much, nothing special. I mean, this deck's fucking insane. Like, if you want a budget rogue deck for this format, and possibly next format, depending on how the Spiral matchup turns out to be, I might play this deck at another regional. Because I still have most of the pieces. Like, I only got rid of, like, the main important cards, and the cards that I need are still really cheap, so... So I might build this deck again for the next regional, which is in December, so... By then, there will have been YCS Dallas, and I believe there'll be, there might be 2 YCSs, I don't actually know, but, we'll have a ton of information, we'll know how Spirals are actually impacting the format, and depending on what cards are being played, this might be one of the better rogue decks of the format, so... if you have the deck, great, but if you're looking for a budget deck, you can pick up a lot of this stuff, incredibly low rarity. You don't have to play cards like Regeki, you don't have to play cards like the Kaiju package, you can easily budget the deck down and pick it up for, I don't know, $75, and you have a competitive deck. So, just know what you're doing and don't overextend, and you have yourself a pretty powerful deck. But that's the end of the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think of it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Yeah, you can remind me all you want that I X4'd this regional. I'm a fucking scrub. I get it. I played bad, but, it was not the deck's fault. The deck's insane. I was just an idiot and played bad. So, my name is Nick. I'm the king of the scrubs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.